A story came to me this morning. I'd read once in a newspaper back when they actually got delivered to your house in paper form of a potato farmer who processed his harvest and then invited the locals to come and glean what was left over. Apparently, the harvesting equipment left behind smaller potatoes and, things would fall to the side. And the locals, they harvested hundreds of pounds of potatoes that the harvesting equipment had left behind. So then the story came this morning of how those locals that had harvested these hundreds of pounds of small potatoes had distributed them, to their relatives so that they could feed their children and so on. And that it came to the mind of some of those people to just gather their pennies, gather their coins, gather whatever they could, just as a thank you gift for the potato grower. And when they had gathered their small sum, they brought it to the potato grower, the landlord. And it just so happened that it was just the amount needed, the balance, the deficit of the sum of money that he needed to send his son to college. And so the local, with the privilege and the responsibility to bring this gift to the landlord, looked at that son and told him, "Thank you for the potatoes." So that son went on to become the landlord. And whenever that estate was threatened, he lacked for nothing. He had learned how to be part of a community. And there are all kinds of messages that can come from that story. But especially for those born of wealth and privilege, learning what it means to be a part of a community can be somewhat of a challenge. They'll set people up with what they think they need, but they have no way. The people have no way of taking care of the nitty-gritty, the little things that the wealthy people never had to take care of. Somebody else took care of their plumbing, their toiletries, and all of those things. And so they set people up in housing with these strict rules of governance. No trash, no inconvenience, keep yourselves clean, keep the area clean. But they don't give them the means to do that. They aren't even aware that the means exist because somebody else always takes care of that, and they send them the bill, and the bill gets paid, and hey, toilets need flushing. Did you know that? Oh, but they've traveled the world as somebody's guest. And that somebody whose guest that they were took care of the unpleasantries, the nitty-gritties. So sometimes wealthy people don't understand how frustration is created when they take care of people, and that frustration leads to resentment, which leads to striking out against them. But when there's communication, there's relationship, and there's understanding, a little appreciation, the establishment of community, it's a beautiful thing. It's funny, I had watched the movie once. I'm not very much into Christian entertainment, but this one struck me. It was called Faith Like Potatoes. And it was an amazing story. But it was another story about potatoes. And faith. And community. With a different message. And then I was sitting there. And it came to me this morning. Issue of children and parenting and caregiving and everything came up. And it was given to me to hear the voices of those who would have been proud to have me as a parent. When we're busy comparing ourselves with our ideal, we fall below it. But much of the world doesn't even have that ideal. And so they're coming in under us, raising children that wish that their parents could at least have us as an ideal. That was very poignant, very healing. So those of us who raise the bar on ourselves, we're always going to be something special. Because there are people who don't even raise bars at all. Except for other people. So there you have it. It's just small potatoes.